Hello everyone. I haven't been streaming for a while. I haven't successfully streamed in quite a while, so I thought I would test my streaming setup because tomorrow I'm going to be live streaming and I would love you to join me. Here I am. Hello everyone. I don't know if anyone is going to tune into this because it's totally unplanned, unannounced. We're going to be drawing Alana because I just logged into YouTube and saw that my friend Ike had done a really awesome drawing of Alana from the Judith Yours portrait challenge. And so I thought, let's draw Alana in this test live stream. So I hope this is going to work out. Yeah, but either way, I'm going to do a drawing of Alana and we'll see what happens. So maybe some people will tune in, maybe they won't. And maybe I will refigure out how to use OBS and live stream. So I'll just get into it. I hope I'm not dropping any frames here. That was my problem. So I've recently done some live streams where it was just like, wow, it was lagging and it wasn't working out very well. And it turns out I had my frame rate set too high. I was hoping to improve the quality of my streams, and by so doing, I just wrecked my streams and they were unwatchable and unstreamable. So now I have lowered the frame rate to 300. I'm not trying to do 4K streaming because that was just too taxing for my computer. And I'm hoping this is going to work. It says it's an excellent stream. Excellent. That's good to hear. Very reassuring. There's no one watching it, but here I am doing it. And it's good to iron these things out because I'm going to do a stream tomorrow. We're going to be sketching portraits by Dino Sarao, who is an incredible street photographer. And I wanted things to be working, so I'm testing now. I hope everyone can hear me. Mic auxiliary. What about my Rode microphone, my good microphone? Are you working? If anyone... Oh, there's one viewer now. Hello. How does it sound? I hope it sounds good. This is a little test. I'm about to draw Alana. And I'm hoping that everything is working well because it's been a while. I hope I sound good. It says my good microphone is not showing any activity, which is a bit weird, but maybe my default. Good evening, FYP Animations. How do I sound? Nice to have you here. Sounds good. That is good. Thank you so much. Great. Well, then let's draw. Feel free to draw along with me, FYP Animations. This is a spontaneous test live stream. And we are drawing Alana Walters, who shared this awesome reference. Oh, maybe some light from the side as well. Shared this awesome reference on Instagram via the Judith Yours Portrait Challenge. Judith shares a lot of amazing portraits. People send Judith portraits and she shares them, and a whole lot of people do sketches inspired by them. Louisa's here. Cool. It is bedtime, isn't it? But it's bedtime. Everyone's in bed. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to see if my live stream setup works. Because you may have noticed, Louisa, the last few that I tried, it was just like, oh, it didn't work out. It was just like, what was going on? It just lagged so much, and like I tried to watch what had happened, and it was just I did a couple of attempts to try and figure out what was going on, and I think I figured out. I tried to improve the quality of my streams, and by so doing just wrecked my ability to stream. So I was trying to do 4K streaming at 60 frames per second, and my computer was just like, what? And it just ended up being not streamable, not watchable. So hopefully I've now ironed that out. And for whatever reason, I didn't have the headspace. There was lots of stuff going on, and I just somehow couldn't figure out what what I had done to make things stop working. So they're working now. This is just going to be a quick one. It's not a crayon, FIP animation. This is just a solid graphite pencil. It looks like a nice black crayon, but it's just like a solid stick of graphite. It's got plastic wrapped around it to hold it together. And as we progress, as I progress, I'll be able to like just rub in lots of graphite into it, which is pretty cool. I was just about to say, Louise, it's almost bedtime, but this is just going to be a quick one. This is a test stream because I'm going to do a proper stream tomorrow where we'll do some 10-minute portraits and I'll have my Zoom room open. And I just wanted to do a test now to make sure things are happening. So that's why I'm doing it at bedtime. And it's just going to be a quick one. So we can both, or all of us, all four of us can get to bed soon. I don't know. Where are you, FYP animations? Maybe you will not be going to bed, but Louisa and I will be. Yeah, so it's been weird not streaming. Like, I was doing at least 2 streams a week with Shannon drawn together, and then doing my own. And likeness is a bit off here, but it's just a quick sketch. Like doing so much, and I was feeling like I just love streaming and love hanging out, drawing together, and the communal aspect of not just drawing alone, but actually drawing together, and it was really cool. And I was feeling like it was really central to my vision of what I want to do, and have all these ideas, and then it was just kind of put on the back burner for a while, and other things happened. But I would love to, now that we're settling in towards winter, things are changing. I think there'll be plenty of streaming on the horizon. Ireland. So perhaps you would also like to go to bed soon, although I think it's a bit earlier than it is here. Nice to have you joining from Ireland. Whereabouts? I had a wonderful conversation with an Irishman, Liam, who I met at the supermarket in Germany, and he was like, "Oh, you're speaking English to your kid," and we met again, like half a year later, or maybe a year later, just spontaneously at this village potato festival, and we had like an hour-long conversation about raising kids bilingually and Irish music. He's a musician, and it was really cool. He sent me some music recommendations, and I like music, and there's lots of cool sounds that come from Ireland. West Island, cool. I've never been. Like really west, out near the coast somewhere. I feel like this drawing is looking really interesting. I wish it looked a bit more like Alana, but it doesn't. But maybe I'll just have to redraw it. I've done a drawing of Alana in the past, which I really, really liked. It was so cool. And somehow, I don't know, this has become a new person. The potato festival was fun. It was really good. I live in a small town, which is close to a 150,000 population city, I guess. And it's I think there are only 700 people that live here. But yeah, there was this cool potato festival in the village, because there's this environmental education center where a lot of like primary schools and kindergartens, the kids will come and they will plant potatoes, and they have like 50 different kinds of potatoes. And then in the beginning of autumn, they have this potato festival where you can eat as many potatoes as you can stomach. and like all sorts of different potatoes, which is super interesting. I tried purple potatoes, and they have lots of other cool things happening there. It's this very, very small town and very lovely and really cool to go with the kids. Something for all ages. There were some sheep there, and some people making stuff from wool, hand spun, and you can juice your own apples, and it was really good. And yeah, it rained a lot, and but it was okay. It was nice. So I kind of feel like I did eat a lot of potatoes. I wasn't intending to, but I thought, my kids will be hungry, and then the 11-year-old he had a bowl of potatoes, and I got a second bowl, which I thought would be for the younger ones, and it was like there was this giant frying pan, and with like fried with vegetables and all these different kinds of potatoes in there, and then he tipped like a tablespoon of salt into his little bowl of potatoes. I was like, oh, that's so much salt. So I mixed it in with the other potatoes, and I was just like, oh, it was, the potatoes were nice, but the salt, it was intense. And they had wild boar sausages, which my kids wanted to eat. We don't have meat at home, so when we're out and about, they are welcome to expand their horizons. Yeah, so if I had this, let me see, if I had an edge, yeah, you can get, there's, if you do the really fancy way of sharpening your pencils, where you like use sandpaper and you get it super smooth and flat, you can get a really broad drawing edge with these kind of pencils, which is cool. I have a blending stump with me. I will whip that out soon. Working out proportions, is it trial and error? That is a good question. Yes, a lot of practice. So I have a very regular sketch practice. I actually host Zoom sessions once a week, every Tuesday, everyone's welcome, where we do timed portrait sketching. And that has really helped me to like quickly start putting down lines. I also have the references right alongside my workspace. Just, that looks a bit, see if I can get a bit darker. The contrast, I can never figure out the contrast on screen as good as it looks before my eyes. Yeah, so lots of practice. And having the reference just alongside really helps. Although I feel like, I don't know, somehow I've created a new person. So a lot feels right about this, but it doesn't look like Alana. And yeah, lots of practice, which we could go into in further detail, like how to get proportions. But there is definitely trial and error, yeah, and doing a lot, I think, is super important and really helpful, because there's been a lot of error. And it's almost been 5 years now that I've been hosting these weekly Zoom sessions. I started in the real world before the first lockdown, and then we just transferred to Zoom. But that, just getting a lot of sketching like under my belt, a lot of practice, a lot of looking, has really helped to like develop my confidence in putting marks down, and just seeing a whole lot of faces and doing a whole lot of sketching. And I feel like it's been a really long path, but one which I feel has been totally worth it. That just by doing a lot of drawing to get that experience to be like after I don't know how many portraits there's actually been, how many sketches, but to get closer and closer each time, and sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes the proportions are off, but by doing a lot of brief practice, if something's way off, it's not so bad, you just move on to the next one. But has just been that cumulative collecting of experience. I don't know if that answers the question. There are 5 of you watching. Hello. Who else is here other than FYP and Louisa? Welcome. Thank you for spontaneously joining my spontaneous live stream. In preparation of tomorrow's less spontaneous live stream, we're going to do a series of 10-minute portraits. So anyone who wants some timed portrait practice is very welcome to come along. And in addition to doing this live stream, I'll have my Zoom room open to hang out and chat and ask direct questions for anyone comfortable and willing to do so. It's always nice to have some actual voices to engage with and respond to. Ike is here. Ike, I'm drawing Alana because you drew Alana. I haven't been live streaming for a while, very much, not successfully. The theme tomorrow is Dinosaurio, and I can actually show you some of the references because I have them in my OBS setup. They're so good. Dinosaurio is an amazing street photographer. That's the theme of tomorrow. There was a live stream I wanted to do like 2 months ago, and it didn't work out, and I was just like, well, why isn't this working? I think I did like an emergency Zoom session. I think you were there, weren't you, Louisa? Yeah, so that's what we're working on tomorrow. And I've been missing live streaming, and just before getting on here, I was like, I was setting up the stream, and then Ike's shorts came up, and I saw your drawing of Alana. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool to draw. So here we are, and it's so cool to have you in the chat. We're going to be moving soon. We're staying within the village, but we're going to be moving, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because I'm hoping to do lots of streaming, get back into the swing of things in winter. I've had real world jobs that I've been working on a lot the past couple months since the summer break, really. And that has been interesting, great. But yeah, I really was envisioning the live streaming being like a core part of what I do, and I enjoy it so much. So it's nice to see. Such a good photo, right? Yeah, just nice to see you three here in the chat. And it's there's been a whole world of things going on, and I wonder. I've done this drawing of Alana in the past, and it's in a sketchbook. It might be right in front of me on my desk. Maybe, because I was showing... My parents are here at the moment, which is awesome. Visiting from Australia. And I was showing Dad... if it's in the... I'm very non-committedly participating in the Kanyo Sketch It challenge this month, which is to fill a sketchbook in a month, but there's just like so much going on. I've hardly done anything. But I thought maybe I can fill the sketchbook that I already started 2 years ago. And I was looking through it, and there was this really, if it's that sketchbook, there's this really cool piece I did of Alana, which was from a 30 Faces 30 Days challenge a couple of years back. I'll tell Mum and Dad that you say hi. So this is, I don't know, this is definitely longer than a 10-minute portrait, but we're here and it's happening and we're doing it. Here's my blending stump, which I like a lot. So I'm going to just go over most of this. Basically, only where there's really like specular highlights, super bright highlights. Leave some of the white of the paper, otherwise going to blend it in. And I like a lot of the scratchy marks that happen in the drawing phase, and then the blending kind of makes things so smooth, which is kind of cool, but I then miss the scratchiness. So that's a really cool way to fill in value. And then once it's down, I enjoy the process of like putting a new layer of like scratchy marks on top of the smooth blended areas. So this stream is all right. Yeah, I haven't dropped any frames. The frame rate's good. It says excellent stream in my little thing that tells me how the stream's going. That's good. It's quite distressing when my other streams didn't work out. And there's been a few of them. Like the Noam Chomsky one didn't work out. I tried to do this Dino Sorao sketches, it feels like maybe 2 months ago, and it just didn't work out. And I think maybe there was even something before that. So at some point I thought I had this great idea that I would improve the quality of my streams, and it just like my computer didn't play along. Mike, hello Mike. Nice to have you here. Thanks for the thumbs up. People can like and subscribe if you're not already. I can, oh look at that, I can even put things in the chat. Oh, I can put little love hearts in the chat. Thank you for those thumbs up. Ah, interesting. You don't know how to use the blending stump correctly. I don't know if there's a correct way to do it, but I like to, once I've already loaded up pigment, and you can see here's this beautiful colorful end. It works really well with the polychromos pencils too. But yeah, I like to load things up, load the page up with like some pigment, and or graphite, and once it's on there, you can just use it to push out, and you see like how really so fast, I don't know, a couple minutes, it just like went, it just shifted the whole mood of the portrait because it's like filled in all of this value. And so I feel like it's a really effective way to lay down value. I'm looking for something which I cannot find. I have a couple of blending stumps and I'm looking for an eraser, because you can like lift some of the graphite. Once you've like pushed it across, you can kind of lift out of it, which is really cool. And I guess with the point, you could do it really fine, but I pretty much always just use the broad side. I watched a video, I think it was Elisa on Instagram and... Oh no, Derek. I saw a video today and I was like, oh, that's interesting. He's really like bam, 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 bam. The way he was using the blending stump just looks so different to the way that I've been using it. That Elisa uses, does... here we go. A really beautiful blending stump stuff. Is a bookmark. The Art of Elisa Ivanova. Elisa on Instagram. So you can watch a lot of her process stuff. Really, really cool. Like deployed. Excellent. Thank you so much. I can't find the eraser, so I'll just go with it. Just this little bit here was... I felt like it was wanting me to erase it, but no, can't find it. So I put all this down, and now I'm going to kind of redarken, rehatch. That will help here, where I've got this random mark coming off the side, and you could just blur it straight out of the lines. Sometimes some of the really brief, I'm already spending quite a bit of time on this, but if I use it in a 6-minute sketch, and you can just push areas of value around, it's really, really cool way to really quickly establish value. It's nice that you people are here and just so spontaneously jumped on this unpremeditated live stream. Are you drawing along or watching, eating popcorn, feeding pigeons? What are you up to? Liquid chalk pens. Oh, cool. Window drawing. Yeah, that sounds cool. Peter Sara. My father, who is downstairs. I wondered if you might see this, Dad. Dad was downstairs and he was watching reaction videos to music stuff. Oh, Dad's hanging out on YouTube. And I kind of had this brief thought. I was oh, maybe Dad will... maybe you'll see this since you're hanging out on your phone. Everyone else is asleep. The pigeons are in bed. Oh, cool. Ike, you're editing another short for YouTube. Nice. I was really happy to see, I feel like I haven't been in YouTube much for a while. And that I got on and I saw your shorts, Ike, and I was oh, cool that you're still at it. You're posting your shorts, and that was really cool to see. Dad came along live to my Tuesday sketch session. Had him sitting next to me here, and he was drawing along and posed for a couple of fun poses. And I've been telling people this. Thanks, Mike. That's funny. For a moment, although I never think of myself as Mr. Sara, I was my son is top tier and asleep. What are you talking about? yeah, I have told the story in the past, but Dad and I spent I left Australia when I was 21 and travelled. And when I went back after 4.5 years, lived in Australia for about 2 years, and Dad and I went to a drawing class together, which was really cool. And Dad used to really love oil painting and was very encouraging of creative pursuits growing up. So thanks, Dad. I would love to do the 10-minute portrait challenge again sometime. There was last year, I did it twice. I did a month of daily 10-minute portrait streams. And that was so cool. And I was so excited by it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do more of this. And then I didn't. But it's a thing that I would love to do. This is where's the time? This is like half an hour now. So this is not a 10-minute portrait at all, but that used to be so fun. It's really cool. But we'll do a bunch of them tomorrow. And maybe, so that I'm not too tired for tomorrow's late night stream, I'll be wrapping this up soon. I wish I had an eraser for this little mark under the chin. That's not an eraser. I just threw away a kneaded eraser which was like too dark and hard, and now I can't find one. I can see I've used one under this camera to put it in place, but I can't take that now. Like putty. So maybe I can. I'll take a little bit and then put it back here. There we go. It was one of the highlights in life, the drawing class. I kiss a lot of frogs. Yeah, I've set Dad up with a stack of art books that he's been looking at and loving, giving those books the attention they deserve. Should do some drawing too, Dad. What you should do, this is a funny thing, because Dad often tells people what they should do, and it's not always welcome to be told what you should do. But Dad, you should do some drawing. All right. Is that it for this spontaneous stream? I feel like some more texture. Like, you just keep going. Like, you can always just keep going, but sometimes it's also good to stop. Eric Dolphy. Oh yeah. Oh cool. That was how you found this channel. Oh yes. Oh, that was so good. Eric Dolphy. I was listening to so much jazz, doing all of those jazz portraits, and oh, I loved it. That was that particular drawing. That was a really good one. That one worked out well. Oh, that's cool that's how you found my channel. Thank you for finding it. Yeah. A dear friend has that sketch. Yeah, sometimes that was a 10-minute portrait, right? I think that was one of the 10-minute ones. I also did some 20-minute ones in those streams, and sometimes just in that 10 minutes, it's like, bam, there's this energy to the sketch, and I wonder what the balance is. Like sometimes, like you can just keep going, and things it can be really wonderful to spend more time on something, but that, like that particular one, it just had this immediacy, and that Eric Dolphy piece was cool. And there've been quite a few of those 10-minute portraits where afterwards I've been like, wow, I can spend hours on something and it doesn't have this. There's like this special something that some of them have. Yeah, and I wonder how. I guess that's part of my curiosity, is how to cultivate a portraiture practice which lends itself to that kind of. There's this energy in some of those quick ones, and even if it turns out to be half an hour or an hour, like how to maintain that life, because sometimes there's this seed, this initial impulse which has like so much potential and can totally carry a piece. Like you can say after 10 minutes, like, this is done, this won't get any better if I keep playing with it. But then when you do have time to really lend your attention and to invest into something, then I feel like that's keeping that kind of vitality to something which you spend a long time on. There's like this interesting balance, because obviously this has had more time spent on it, but how do I keep it fresh like some of those really quick ones? And then at what point is it like, why did I keep going? So on that note, I think it's bedtime, and I'm you're a jazzer for your sins. Yeah, on that note, I think we're done. Thank you to all of you who came to hang out. And if anyone's watching the replay and drawn along, then you can tag me on Instagram and Alana on Instagram. Here's a typo. Drawing with Dylan. I think I can go in and I can fix that. Drawing with Dylan. You can use the hashtag drawing with Dylan, not drawing with Dylan. And see you tomorrow. Come draw with me tomorrow. We'll have time. Come into Zoom if you feel like it. We'll chat and it'll be great. Thank you. Ashley is here too. Cool. Thank you to everyone who was in the chat. And like and subscribe. And there will be more live streams. And thank you. Thank you, Alana. Thank you, Judith, for sharing so many awesome images. And see you here on the YouTube sometime soon.